This is a story of how America's economy boomed. Imagine all your favorite accessories in which you hold dear. Now come to the realization that this would not be possible without the Industrial Revolution. I can speak about this because it is the lifestyle that I now live in and appreciate. The Industrial Revolution should be considered to have the most drastic impact on the course of American history. I'd like to discuss the causes, advances in machinery, and how the Industrial Revolution has shaped the world that we live in today. Causes of the revolution. Wages were high and energy was cheap. So the mining of coal and the invention of windmills served to produce mass production of electricity. This was a main cause of the revolution as it provided the necessary fuel to drive machinery. In addition, the growth of capitalism. Capitalism caused the Industrial Revolution because industrialization needed a large amount of work and time from individuals, not the government. This investment of time and work was influenced by profit. And by this, capitalism created an explosion in industrialization. This allowed entrepreneurs to establish business. Many believe that the revolution started in America, but it actually started in Europe, more specifically Britain, in the 18th century with a focus on agricultural revolution. Charles Townsend introduced the concept of crop rotation, which allowed British farmers to produce more food faster. This led to a dramatic increase in the population of the country, which in turn created a larger workforce for factories and mines. This quotation comes from 2009 History Crunch. We can classify this as a stepping stone in which the Industrial Revolution took off. This brought unity between countries and promoted trade. There was a quest for change, but what tools were needed to make this change successful? The revolution focused on the increase of production by the use of machines and factories. To name some important inventions of machinery, first we have the flying shuttle. It worked by allowing the shuttle to carry the weft that was passed through the warp threads faster over wider clothes, thus allowing the weaver to produce wider fabrics in lesser duration of time. This reference can be given to 2009 Gardner. This leads us to understand the increase in the productivity of the weaver and the reduction of the labor involved. This led to the mass production of multiple aspects: clothes, cars, textiles, whatever you can think of, the Industrial Revolution is responsible. In addition, this led to a greater demand of popular goods. As mass production was supplied, goods also became cheaper. Windmills and steam engines served to provide an extremely large source of energy for cheap, in which factories can most efficiently operate. We can consider the steam engine as the most important invention behind the Industrial Revolution. This is supported by 2019's Arend Statement. The steam engine is termed as the defining innovation of the first industrial revolution in Britain. It was the energy behind the advanced inventions in textiles, the power loom, the spinning mule, and transport, the steam-powered locomotives and ships, and was one of the primary causes for the transition from human power to machine power. The increased focus on the economy and the financial success was promoted by the formation of factories and more organized work ethic, which shifted the world we live in. Before the Industrial Revolution, 80% of our population was composed of farmers. Today, we have less than 1% of our population composed of farmers. This quote from 2019 History Crunch explains the reason. Jethro Tull invented the seed drill, which allowed farmers to plant crops faster and in straight rows. This led to an increase in food production while also decreasing the amount of workers needed. This was yet another stepping stone to the Industrial Revolution, which demonstrated faster means of production by less people. As we know, this concept of mass production took flight and led to the cities, thus creating a variety of professions. If it wasn't for the Industrial Revolution, our cities would be farmland, and we would probably all grow up to be farmers, since we wouldn't have the technology to be something else. A quote from 2020's Aaron stated, "The Industrial Revolution was a major turning point in history, which was marked by a shift in the world from an agrarian and handicapped economy to one dominated by industry and machine manufacturing. As we can see, the Industrial Revolution should be considered to have the most drastic impact on the course of American history, as it promoted employment and earning and movement from villages to cities. There was several causes of the revolution. The revolution focused on mass production with the use of machinery and new energy sources, and most importantly, how it shaped the world we live in today. There are very few things that we use today that cannot be tied back to the Industrial Revolution and its impact on our society. Think about the accessories that we use and value every day. Your couch, your phone, your laptop, television, cars, clothes, anything you can think of. We would not have these items today if it wasn't for the wonders of the Industrial Revolution."